I'm Ben Rich, and this is my video response to the bonus question about the Liberal leadership. So as the month of December demonstrated, political fortunes can quickly turn on a dime. Though the politics of our country may at one point appear to be headed down a certain path, they remain decidedly unpredictable. So it is quite difficult to state with any sense of certainty whether or not Michael Ignatieff will be able to lead the Liberal Party back to power. Still, I will outline the challenges that Mr. Ignatieff faces and assess the prospects of his success. Despite the uncertainty inherent in politics, one thing does seem clear. The Liberal Party will be better positioned with Mr. Dion out and Mr. Ignatieff in. After the Liberals' dismal showing in the most recent election, which was followed up by the embarrassing fiasco of Mr. Dion's video address to the country, it appears the Liberal Party has hit rock bottom in terms of support. Accordingly, it would seem that the party, to use a Shania Twain lyric, can only go up from here. That said, the party should not assume that this will occur automatically. One of the first steps for Mr. Ignatieff will be to unite his caucus. This does not mean that he must rule his party with an iron fist, but at the same time, Canadians will hardly trust a leader to run the country if he can't even keep his own house in order. This was a significant problem under Mr. Dion. With Mr. Dion, certain Liberals were not hesitant to discuss with the media the content of caucus meetings. The apparent lack of cohesion from within the party often led to divergent and contradictory public messages from the Liberal Party. In contrast, Mr. Ignatieff already seems to have a better handle on the Liberal caucus than Mr. Dion did. Before Bob Rae and Dominic LeBlanc withdrew from the Liberal leadership race, it was reported that Mr. Ignatieff had the support of over 50 members of the Liberal caucus, of the Liberal 77 MPs in caucus. In comparison, Mr. Dion's caucus support was limited at best and seemed to be constantly fleeting. Additionally, with Mr. Rae and Mr. LeBlanc's gracious withdrawal from the leadership race, the apparent Rae-Ignatieff divide within the party has been silenced. In stepping down, Mr. Rae and Mr. LeBlanc showed a humility that is rare to come by in politics, putting the interests of the party and the country ahead of personal ambition. Indeed, there does seem to be a renewed sense of hope and optimism among Liberals, and this bodes very well for the prospects of a united Liberal Party. But still, in order to be successful as a leader and eventually become Prime Minister, Mr. Ignatieff must also prepare himself to face the onslaught of the Conservative attack machine. Thus far, he has done a very good job preventing serious attacks against him, stating in an interview that it would be a very, very serious mistake to engage in partisan attacks against a party leader at this moment. Mr. Ignatieff offers a more forceful tone than Dion and is much more likely to stand up to any pre-writ attacks on his character. Accordingly, for now, the Conservatives have been in no hurry to demonize Mr. Ignatieff. But make no mistake, once the writ drops, whenever it drops next, you can almost guarantee that the Conservatives will try to frame Mr. Dion as an academic egghead that has been out of the country for too long to understand the concerns of real Canadians. Thus, Mr. Ignatieff's challenge will be to frame himself before the Conservatives can. Though many Canadians are familiar with Mr. Ignatieff, a significant amount still do not know what he is about, what he really stands for. Before the next election, Mr. Ignatieff will have to spend as much time as possible in ridings across the country, letting Canadians get to know him. And the more time he has to do so, the better for the Liberals.